If we all die in the end and none of it matters, what's the point in living? There's not much else to do. I sit in my cubicle, here on the Myther world. When I die, they will put me in a box and dispose of it in the cold ground. And in all the million ages to come, I will never breathe, or laugh, or twitch again. So won't you run and play with me here among the teeming mass of humanity? The universe has spared us this moment. Anonymous. Data links. And so we return again to the holy void. Some say this is simply our destiny. But I would have you remember always that the void exists. Just as surely as you or I. Is nothingness any less a miracle than substance? Have you tried the French toast? Bro, eggs Benedict. Millimeters. I love it when my brothers lay me some eggs. Even better if you were the one to impregnate your brothers. You have consciousness now. Why not use it to make you feel something other than void? Also, if there is no point to life, there is an equal chance there is no point to death. Anyway, your purpose is what you make it, since everything is a construct in your head anyway. If you decide you have a purpose, then you do have a purpose. An equal chance there is no point to death. So, they are equally pointless. Except life is also messy, and shitty, and full of suffering. The contents of a bathroom include lots of germs, and also literal fesses, at times. But also generally a sink and a shower. i.e. cleaning stuff. So is a bathroom just full of shit, or is it a place to clean? Similarly, a life is full of all the stuff you mentioned. I can't deny that, but its contents also include all sorts of good things. Things like love and happiness. And, sure, what I'm saying might sound a little forced. It feels forced as I type it, but that doesn't make it incorrect. There's good there, somewhere. It's up to you to decide what to focus on. Till my life is a bathroom. Optimistic nihilism is a beautiful thing. Learn to take pleasure in the absurdity of it all. Edit. Typo. Thanks phone. We must imagine Sisyphus smiling. I used to work a repetitive job that required a lot of lifting, and I always thought of Camus. The working class reading Camus. It brings a tear to my eye. Why does there need to be a point? Edit. This is basically a philosophy commentary, so I have to point to Kierkegaard as a personal fav. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. But have you tried vanilla cone topped with Skittles? You are missing out on so much, my good friend. Have you ever been out late at night and get those hunger pains? You decide to take a short detour on your way home to your favorite taco truck that stays open most of the night and order a cheese and tripe filled gordita and 2 or 3 fajita tacos. To me that's reason enough to keep living. Trapusa name checks out. To have one hell of a time getting to the end. If it doesn't matter and you're just here waiting to die, make it fun. What's fun depends on what you think is fun though. So do what's fun for you. This is my general philosophy, but the whole making sure I have enough money to continue having fun keeps getting in the way of having any fun. Sounds like you're not actually maximizing your fun in the way you think you are. Well, I try to have fun and be silly in the everyday, but yeah, my whole life revolves around A. caring for my mill with late stage Alzheimer's, and B. making sure I have some kind of assets and income in the future. So I tend to laugh at the "what are you waiting for" motivational memes. As if our dreams, mom and pop cafe or food truck, could all come true if I would just abandon all responsibilities and start. In the words of a wise golden Labrador, the universe is a cruel, uncaring void. The key to being happy isn't a search for meaning. It's to just keep yourself busy with unimportant nonsense. And eventually, you'll be dead. Apostrophe. What is this? A crossover post? Be excellent to each other. And party on dudes. Why eat a nice meal if, once you've eaten it, it's over? Because being hungry is mild torture. To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. That is best in life. The journey is the point of living. Life before death. Radiant. Journey before destination. Strength before weakness. Someone needs to look after the dogs and cats. Is this where we say something like, the point is to have lived? I agree that the point of life is to live, not only to have fun or be entertained, but rather the whole thing, all of it. The sad times. The hard. The unfair. Desperate and illogical times. The good and wholesome. Light and warm. Enjoy it. Life is like that kitten picture you didn't ask for, but you're still grateful. What's the point in living? There is no point. Meaning is a human construct. It doesn't occur naturally in nature. So there is no true meaning or point in living. Whatever individual and fake reason, meaning or point you yourself decide is good enough to keep you going, is the right one. Well, purpose and meaning are different. I think that searching for a purpose outside of general self and species survival is a luxury. If your life allows for deep void searching to something more, then your life has reached extraordinary status. Which is why money doesn't buy happiness. You may think you have it all, but then something feels off. Not complete. Just repeat this phrase: no, there's nothing tangible more to acquire, or if not acquired, could do so without slightest detriment. What I think I seek are the emotions and bonds that those who have no tangible say are greater than anything else. As we know, poor people must be extra delusional to thrive. My buddies and I just had a conversation like this actually. It went something like, if life doesn't matter we should just kill ourselves. You first, no. You first, and so on. I guess the point of life is really whatever you think it is. If you find it pointless to you, then figure out what you want to do with it. Personally, the point of my life is being entertained. If nothing matters, then you might as well enjoy living while you can. Remember that your life will end no matter what. So you might as well have a bit of fun before you die. Yup, my goal in life is entertainment. Life is set of mini orgasms until death makes you squirt. What the fuck? Le petit mort. If none of it matters in the end, then why do you have a tilt in one direction? Why is not fighting or giving up the default stance in a meaningless world? Either choice should hold the same weight if everything is truly meaningless. If there is a direction in life that even has the slightest chance of adding some sort of meaning to your life, then you should walk in that direction. Maybe then something will matter. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose, right? I mean, it's not that you should give up if nothing matters. It's that if you truly believe this, you'd have no reason to do things we normally consider meaningful. But the inverse is also true. The fact that we still want to do those things implies that on some level we don't actually consider them valueless. What's the point of tucking in the bed covers in the morning when they're going to crumple anyway at night? What's the point of scoring an A+ in kindergarten when no one will ever ask you about these in life? What's the point of getting into a relationship when you're 14 years old, when you know you're going to go your separate ways anyway? What's the point of spending hundreds of rupees on waxing and threading when the hair is going to grow back every time? Dear friend, if you start looking for a point in every single thing that you're doing in life, then you will realize that there's very little that actually makes logical sense. Even existence doesn't make much sense. But did you notice what's common in the activities I mentioned above? All of the things I've mentioned above gave us momentary pleasure. We tuck in bed covers to get the satisfaction of sleeping in a comfortable, well-made bed. We score well in kindergarten to feel good about reaching our potential. We get into relationships when we are 14 to cherish the company of our partner. We wax our hair to enjoy the feeling of smooth skin and an attractive appearance, although it's a very weird social obligation that I don't really like. We don't live our life to meet some ultimate, God-given purpose or point. We just live. We live to be happy and make others happy within this tiny span of 70 odd years that we have. The point, if I may say, is just to be happy and satisfied. We only have to die once. One day and poof, we'll be gone. But we have to live for more than one day, maybe 1,000, 10,000, lakhs of days. And so, the whole point become to live a life so beautiful, it outweighs the heaviness of that one day when everything will be over. Just live. Forget the point. Think about the whole plane. None of those things give me pleasure. They are all things that society tells you to do. I guess I'm the odd one out. You can insert your own enjoyable moments into his comment and the same rule applies. Imagine you enjoy watching a movie. What's the point of watching the movie if it's just going to be over after the end credits or whatever temporary interest you have? Banana bread. Probably. Banana nut bread with chocolate chips. And none of it matters. Says who? My life matters to me. Just because something isn't permanent doesn't mean it's worthless. Frankly, Op was straight up wrong when he/she said that it didn't matter. They weren't being intellectually serious. If someone slapped Op in the face, you better believe they'd recognize how much that matters. If Op saved a drowning child, I think they would see how much that mattered. A good cup of coffee. Just because I'm an optimistic nihilist, so I don't believe there's a greater reason we are here, or whatever. We just are. The universe is what it is, and doesn't need to explain itself. I see beauty around me, and have many wonderful friendships. So I just enjoy what is here for me, until I'm not here anymore. Dying does not make our time here less valuable. It's the opposite. Well, I mean, you're here. Might as well do something. Sure. No one will remember you, and eventually we'll all be dead. But what's to stop you from having a great damn time while you can, right? We're on a tiny dot in the middle of a black abyss. So just enjoy the people you have around you, or the ones you can find. Why does there have to be a point? Because some people can't live without purpose. And as we all know, people are the center of the universe. I suggest you read The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. Or at the very least a summary of it. He explains this question in the essay. 42. Incrementally improving. I grew up in a Leave It to Beaver kinda household. If you don't know the show. Loving parents. Middle class economics. 1950s 1960s values. Etc. My family was a rock. An anchor that was always there for me. Around 25 years ago I fell in love with a single mom who had a young daughter. A family that was rife with all kinds of abuse, drugs, alcohol, physical, verbal, you name it, and broken rocks. I also fell in love with that kid and tried, despite all the chaos in her early life, to be her rock, her anchor, someone she could count on, someone that would always be there for her like my family was for me. The marriage didn't work out. But while I broke up with her mom, I never broke up with her. I kept being dad through everything. And in the last few years got to meet the man who would become her husband, walk her down the aisle at her wedding, and hold my grandson in my arms the morning after he was born. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow, but I'd die happy knowing that I left her with a bit of the life I lived growing up. A family that was always there. A rock that her bio dad never was. If that's all I accomplished in life, that's enough. Aureus. And as Amanda Palmer says, the alternative is nothingness. We might as well give it a try. If you are new to Tattletale TV, please subscribe. I have new videos every day. Stay tuned right now for another.